I got you. Stop one missing absence. Had my only audition stuff. Good, but it got lucky. Saturday was easy though. Oh, for sure.
Listen to everything.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You feel violated.
No, because you still owe me. Yeah. If you, it was actually, no, then I get, no, I get. I get.
It's like that.
You might go to the something. Yes, I need a double.
Either I get it or I don't know it.
Let me talk a bit about what we have left before our matrices test. So we talked about
No way, bro. No way.
so far how to add, subtract, multiply, inverse matrices, and also solving matrix equations using matrices. I'll go through a quick example of what we did last Friday before we left for break. But today we're going to be talking about 3x3 matrices. So 3x3 matrices, we can only find inverses for square matrices. Those are the only matrices we're going to be working with. But 3x3 is going to feel more complicated. So we're just going to be learning to do find the determinant by hand. But then we're going to be using the calculator to solve an equation and to do the inverse. So the second half of class, I'm going to show you the calculator steps. So if you have a 36 Pro or a graphing calculator, I'll go over the steps to whole matrix, and you also get to use the calculator on the test as well. So you want to make sure you are comfortable finding information on your calculator. But first half of class, we're going to be working on this before without a calculator. Okay. So and then after we learn how to find inverses of a 3x3 matrix, we can solve a system of equations using a calculator. And then we'll use Friday, Monday, and Tuesday to do word problems. I think word problems is going to be a more challenging portion of this unit. And then I hope to give your quizzes back by Friday. But so far, looks like everyone has done pretty well from ones I've seen. I'll give that back to you Friday, go over any questions that you guys have, and our test will be next Tuesday. Sorry, next Wednesday. Okay. So quick review. You demonstrated your knowledge of this on the quiz. If I want to find an inverse of a 2x2 matrix, I first define the determinant. I do diagonal property here, so AB minus BC. After I find the determinant, then I can use that information to build my inverse. So inverse is 1 over the determinant, so we some number, and then we got to do some rearranging within our 2x2 matrix, right? Our A and D position will swap places, and then our B and C position will stay in their position, but we just change their signs. And that will be the inverse, and the inverse is helpful to help us solve certain equations. And this is the example that I did in class before we did our classwork. So we said that we can start off with a system of equation, build a 2x2 using the coefficients. Then we have a variable matrix, and then we have constant matrix. Okay. If I want to solve for x, y, I have to bring this 2x2 matrix over, but we don't divide by matrix. We move it over and we make it into the what? Turn it into the inverse. Yeah. So we go through the process, right? 1 over determinant, flip the AD and deal with the BC. And then after we go through this process, we multiply and save the coefficient for the end, and then we solve for x and y. Okay. Now, we're going to be doing this process with a 3x3 matrix, but when we get to this point here, we're not going to do this by hand. We're going to make the calculator find the inverse for us, do the multiplication for us, and find the answer for us. But what we are going to be able to do by hand with a 3x3 matrix is we're going to find the determinant. Okay, so the determinant is AD minus BC for a 2x2 matrix, but it's a little bit more involved with a 3x3 matrix. So we'll go through those steps. But we're not going to do the inverse by hand for a 3x3. We're going to do it using the calculator because it's more complicated than what we're going to need to do. Okay, so page 17 in your notes. Again, a determinant is a feature, it's a component of an inverse. Okay. So let's say we have a determinant, a 3x3 matrix. Let me name it A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, H, I. So there's two ways to do this, but I'm just going to show you the way that I find visually easier. So let's say we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And if you see the vertical bar here, the vertical bars just means find the determinant of this matrix. Okay, so what we're going to do first is you're going to extend this 3x3 matrix, and you're going to create a fourth and fifth column. And a fourth and fifth column, all you're going to do is you're going to copy the first and second column as the fourth and fifth. So the first column is ADG. You're going to duplicate that as your fourth column. And then your second column, you're duplicated at your fifth column. And then we're going to be working from a diagonal perspective. You know how with 2x2 matrix, the diagonal is easy. It's just AD minus BC. But with the 3x3 matrix, there's a lot more going on. Okay, but it's the same idea. What you're going to do is you're going to start at the upper left corner, and then you're going to be finding groups of 3 to multiply together. Okay, so groups of 3 here. There's a group of 3 here, and a group of 3 here. We're going to take each of those triplets, multiply them, and add the results together. So this group plus this group plus this group. So that's what this formula is saying. Okay. You don't have to memorize those these letters per se, but if you just have to understand how to get to those values. So that's the first part. Okay. So these sets of diagonal kind of represents the AD. Okay. But it's a lot more involved because we got to deal with we got a lot more pairings or groups than what we have here. Okay. But then we have to subtract the BC. So the quote unquote BC is the diagonal in the other direction. So starting at the bottom corner, we're also going to find triplets or groups of 3. So minus, okay. So here we have I'm going to use a different color to show those diagonals. But we're always looking for groups of 3. So it's going to be all the blues added together minus, and then all the reds added together. And that will give you your determinant. And determinant, again, is a component of your inverse. Okay. So again, with 3x3 matrix, we only have to learn how to do determinant by hand. We don't have to do the inverse by hand for 3x3. So we're just right now just practicing how to find the determinant. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and try number 1. Just to give myself more space, I'm going to copy those 3 again, just to make it easier for me to draw my diagonals. So this is the original 3x3 matrix. I'm going to take my first 2 columns, and I'm going to recopy those and create them as the fourth and fifth column. I'll use a different color to show my fourth and fifth column. Everybody okay with expanding it into a 3x5 matrix? Okay, so now starting at the upper left corner, you're going to pair or create groups of 3. We're going to add them up or multiply first and add. So what's -3 times -1 times 0? Okay, so 0 plus 2 times 2 times -1 is 4. And then 4 times 1 times 4, 16. Okay, minus, put a big set of parentheses, and we're going to save that space for the other directional diagonals. Okay, good so far? Okay, so now the bottom left corner, you should be able to find 3 sets of diagonals that are each of them with basically creating groups of 3. Okay, so what's -1 times -1 times 4? 4, okay, put that here. 4 times 2 times -3. -24, right? -24, so I'm gonna keep that, keep track of my negative there. And then 0 times 1 times 2. 0. Okay. So now I'm just going to combine this together. -4 plus 16 is 12. Minus 4 minus 24 is -20. So I got to keep track of my 2 negatives there. 12 minus -20, that's the same thing as 12 plus 20. So I can say the determinant of matrix E is 32. Okay. Any questions with this process? All right, so see if we can go through number 2 and 3, practice that process, and then we will go through those answers once you guys have a chance to try it. Okay, so try 2 and 3. Come around, see if you guys have any questions. Like, make sure you're careful between your diagonals that you are putting a minus, big parentheses to protect that second set of information. Because we want to make sure that that negative is going to impact everything that comes after it. Give you guys a moment to finish off 2 and 3 and do number 4 together. All right, are we good with numbers 2 and 3? Any questions? All right, let's look at number 4. So number 4 says, given matrix A and matrix AB, find matrix B. Okay, so let's think in terms of an equation, approaching this from an equation perspective. We know this is true, right? We know that matrix A times matrix B is what produces matrix AB. So if I want to solve for matrix B, what needs to be moved? Yeah, but then when we move it over, it needs to come to the front and it needs to be turned into a what? Inverse. Good. So let's write that notation. Matrix B is equal to the inverse of matrix A times matrix AB. Okay. Now, what's the dimension of this matrix A? 3 by 3, right? So you're not expected to do this by hand. We'll make the calculator do all this for us. Okay. So let me show you both using the scientific calculator and the graphing calculator step by step, and over the course of this period, we're just going to practice either finding a 3 by 3 determinant or using the calculator to get all this information. And I'll walk around and help you with the calculator if this demonstration is not enough. Okay. So the first thing you do is let's put matrix A into the calculator. Okay, so you're gonna first, I'll show it using both calculators, but let me do the scientific first. Find your matrix button. Matrix button is you see that in that blue above math. So do second math. And then we're going to be creating matrix A. So click over to edit. So use this directional arrow button, hit enter. And then this is a 3 by 3 matrix. So you're gonna have to tell the calculator that you want to create a 3 by 3 matrix. So highlight the 3 rows and the 3 columns. Hit OK. Now fill those numbers in. So 1, -2, 3, 1, 0, 2, 4, 1, 2. Okay, I'm just entering in what I see for matrix A. Do second mode. That will take you back to your home screen. Go back to your matrix button again, second matrix, edit. Now I need to create a matrix AB, which I'm going to call B. Okay, that feels confusing. Just know that this is not the B that we're solving for. This B is just what we have here. Okay. Now, what's the dimension of this second matrix here? Yeah, 3 by 2. Okay. So 3 by 2. So I'm going to call this 17, -2. 12, -4. Okay. So there's my second matrix. Yes.
You, for the matrix A, you just write it as it is.
You're not going to do any math. You're going to make Calc do everything for you.
So with this, we can't use it for this one.
Yeah, I don't think there's a, yeah. So I do have a few calculators, but you guys are going to have to find a way to get a hand either on the 36 Pro or on the graphing calculator. I'll show the graphing calculator steps in a second.
I don't want to do it on this.
It will, yeah. I'll show the steps after I
Okay,
get through.
okay.
Yes. Okay, so now go back to your home screen. Okay. And now we're gonna make the calculator, guys, make the calculator do this process here. So call matrix A. So you're gonna go back to your matrix button. But now you're not gonna edit it anymore. Now you're gonna call it. So under names, I have matrix A, that 3 by 3 matrix. So hit enter. But I don't want just that matrix A, I want the inverse of it. So go back to matrix button and then go to math. And there's an inverse option there. Okay. And that will give you that inverse matrix. Okay. Now I want to multiply this by matrix AB. Matrix AB in the calculator, I called it matrix B. So you're going to go to second matrix. B. So now I've entered in everything as I see here. I'm making the calculator find the inverse for me and do the multiplication. So there's the answer. So we're making the calculator do all this for us. I will come around and just show you if you're stuck, but let me show you the steps for the graphing calculator first, okay? So if you have a graphing calculator, either TI-83 or TI-84, what you can do is find your matrix button. It's you see that under there's a matrix on that first column there. So do second X. Go to edit. And then you're going to call it a 3 by 3 matrix. And then enter your 3 by 3 matrix. So exactly as you see it here, 1, -2, 3.
These numbers.
Okay, so once you're done creating your matrix A, exit out. And now we're ready to create the second matrix. Okay, so go to second matrix. Go to edit. Matrix B. I'm going to call it a different. This is a. We say this is a 3 by 2 matrix. So just enter in 3 by 2. And then enter in your second matrix here. So 17, -2.
Then edit matrix B.
Wait, what do you?
Yeah.
Then matrix B can be the plug it in.
Exit out, do second mode to quit. And then you're going to do second matrix. You're going to call these matrices. But to create that inverse, do you see there's a button there? X to -1. Click that button and that will give you your inverse notation. Times matrix B.
Oh, that's like one of the nice.
So I have my notation there, hit enter again. I have my answer. All right, I'll come around. There's also instructions on page
Yeah, page, oh, sorry, I didn't put those instructions here. I'll walk around and help you to see if you can get to this answer here using the calculator.
So I'm like. I get like a graph or the.
No, I just second. And then. No, I'm gonna do my second matrix.
So inverse of A times B.
How do you do the inverse?
It's gonna be a 3x2 matrix. So you're
Yeah.
gonna- Whatever that number is. I'll put back in. Let's say you got- Oops. I gotta go down. I don't want to.
I wonder.
No, I just.
Never did.
It's gonna work out for that.
Really dry out.
That's how it is.
No, I know it. I should have a video.
There's one summer.
I started like.
Wow.
Once a year.
You guys, you go down. I'm not
Like, yeah.
You don't even have.
So you're gonna go here, okay.
I mean,
The T. Black people's not words like. Just teach them. Make it more somewhere. I'm trying to learn to go together. That's learn the songs together.
Oh, you know.
Well, they're gonna be.
This thing. Just hold it. Like a spring.
See the baby drowning.
You don't even work
No, we probably better. We have a full management that doesn't have it.
How do I go back?
Yeah, I'm in my
I don't know what degree, but somewhere.
I know, because the more. It's actually the bigger your. Yeah, I didn't write about it. So, yeah. Yeah.
I can say some things right now.
Once you're done,
What's the word stereotype? That's.
What?
You learn nothing.
Oh, I sent out, I don't know, actually, John.
Now I want better.
She wanted your lead class. Exactly. When
That was the funny.
But yes, please first do audit. If they ask.
Oh my gosh, I haven't told them.
That's even really. Yeah, we have shit up.
I just, I just.
I want to- It was still.
I know multiple coordinates. First,
That's an. Inverse matrix A.
I was gonna walk, was gonna spend the whole last day.
Oh, in the.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I spent, I guess we spent a month on this day.
Yeah.
That was the. I used to-
Wow, that's it.
I was part of the child.
Wow.
So.
What is the comments? Man.
Yeah, we had to. All this.
The upper level, all this stuff, all these girls here, make sure he doesn't do anything, because that's what we had to speak with.
Yeah. If you like, blow your mind.
I did.
This,
Yeah. Get on.
Yeah.
I know the main,
I would look crazy.
but like I can't this button.
I could edit, see that edit button there?
Yeah.
The other, and then I went to the other one because.
Why do you teach him to not need?
Let's not do that. You have a 36 Pro?
I have a calculator that works like all my.
Okay, so bring it tomorrow, we'll go ahead.
Is there any way you use bionic hand?
What am I doing?
I don't remember if people.
Maddie.
I can see, I might have PS3. I might have PS3. I haven't grabbed it. I cannot think of what you're gonna.
Calculating. I'm past someone else. Not fun.
Chart.
It's.
I'm not gonna get it. I might, I'll show you more.
Guys, I want us to do two problems and then we'll be done, okay? So, I wanted to find determinant using, a hand. Oh, yeah, I'll come around for it. So page 18. So determinants is just go through that process. Let's just find the determinants and then we'll talk about the inverse later. You have 36 Pro?
Oh, I made some sort of graph.
Okay. I'll show you this work. So I want to put this concept on the inverse of this. So. Let me just show you.
Or whatever.
You're gonna go to edit. Yeah, it's not the same dimension, but you're gonna get the same. Divide 3 is already good. So I'm gonna go through, enter all that in.
All the numbers.
Yeah. And then once you're done with it, go to second mode, go back to your main screen. Now we're gonna create this matrix. So you can use like a matrix, edit, and then once.
No, I don't need.
I know it's not called the same, but. There's not the same dimensions, then you make it the same. Just like two.
How do you edit it? You just like go.
Yeah, let's go.
No, like-
3, 2, and then just, yeah, and then it's going to. Go back to 3. Now, I want the inverse of this. So go back to your matrix. Now I want to call it, I don't want to change it anymore. Under names. Matrix A. But that's not the inverse. There's a one for inverse.
I already took my arm.
Guys, these two right here, find the determinant by hand. So get it to the fourth and fifth column, and then diagonals, and you're gonna get down to a number. So just do those two problems, and then we'll be done for today.
So we don't have to take a calculator for that.
So don't use calculator for that.
On the test, we-
Yes, on the test, you will get down calculators.
Is there any way to do the calculator for the person?
Yes, in your calculator, there's actually a feature called DET. So, there's a DET there. So if you do DET of the matrix, it'll get you down to a number. But on the test, I'm gonna ask you to show your work. Go to edit, and then just have to change the dimensions.
Okay.
Well, I said more stuff there. Maybe we'll go into the problems. So it's the problem, it's the wall. Like, then they don't have any doors.
I didn't show the work here, but you can check your answers.
Oh. Yes. Oh. It's great. Oh, you did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. This is the bottom thing.
And then the second eight matrix again. I'm students meeting. But I'm remember to take it again.